Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Welcome to my stream. Well, it's followed Cascadia stream, but I'm the one streaming on this channel. And I'm Dr. Weird, or Leon. I'm not sure what I go by on the community channel. I probably should check before I said that. Whatever. We got some work to do today. And by we, I mean me. But first off, let me introduce you to my co-host here, who I think is unmuted.
Yeah, I heard myself on stream.
Saber, our lead assets.
Hello, everyone.
So, Saber, what are we doing today?
Watching Leon make some code stuff, I think.
You're goddamn right. And me failing really hard.
Oof.
So, hello everyone from YouTube chat and Twitch chat. I said hello before, but I'm saying it again, just to be polite, you know? So what we're working on here today is the tool that will eventually be used. Oops, sorry. That will be eventually. God damn it, Saber. That will eventually be used to create behaviors. What behaviors are basically like state machines. And what state machines are basically like, Google has a good answer for it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think. So either way, we're working on this little tool here. And so currently, we take it and give it a little test run. When it decides to finish building. Here we go. Shit, I should have hit it. Should have put a breakpoint. Forgot I deleted that earlier. Not beaver machines, behavior. What's this fuck?
Beaver machines. You could think of them like animation sets that certain creatures use, like their general behavior, as the word means. How they behave.
Okay. Hit my breakpoint, and now where's my watch window? Hello, Microsoft. Where is it? There it is. Making sure this data got loaded right. Okay, we got our HK root level container. We got our param. Variance. What? That can't be right, can it? What is this? Test one? Variance should be not null, I think. What the fuck? Oh wait, yes it should. Okay, that confused me for some reason. Right, and then HK object. HK per. Jeez. That's weird. I don't know why it looks like this. Either way, the end product won't look like some weird clunky view like this. It'll look something similar, or I'm hoping, depends on my UI guy, He's gonna be a lazy ass. We'll see. But I'm hoping it ends up looking something like this, if you've ever experimented with Unity, because I know Unity's a popular one. So this is what it will hopefully look like. All those lines and stuff, they might not make sense to you. Don't worry. They make absolutely no fucking sense to me. And that's fine. Because when you work on a new state machine behavior, you work on it bits and bits at a time. But to give you the rundown of what a state machine or behavior is, so if we take a look at this node here, stand, you can see it has several transitions. So it can go to jump, it can go to stand to crawl, it can go to walk, it can go to something, I don't know.
Dash.
Looks like it goes, no, it goes past dash, I think.
Really?
Looks like it anyway, I could be wrong. Either way, it could go to fall, it could go to hang on ledge, it doesn't matter. But say we're on stand state and we want to go to the slide state. Or like we have a standing animation and then we want to go to a slide animation. Well, all this sets it up so that I'm bad at this.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
I'm so terrible at this. Okay, so if we wanted to go to slide, why am I pointing with my fingers? I don't even have a webcam. What am I doing?
I mean, we can see the mouth, so.
Yeah, you get...
Good job.
Okay, good. So, you see stand, and we want to go to like a slide animation. We can't directly go from a standing animation to a sliding animation, because there's no actual transition there. So, if we wanted to go to a sliding animation, we would either have to go somewhere over here and eventually end up at run, and then hit the run to slide node. Oh, am I too quiet?
I can't tell because I'm a... So, I have no idea.
Is that any better? Or is that too loud?
Hello?
Hello, Ziggy.
Hey, Viggy. What's up?
I don't know why, but my sound is coming out of my monitor.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just shut the beach off outside. I just turned that shit off. Don't worry about it.
Says that Leon's sound is low and I'm too loud.
Okay, is this perfect now?
Is this good?
Test, 1, 2, 3, I think.
Yeah, that's better, I
Okay.
guess. Okay.
It's all good? Okay, good. So, I guess we'll go... Awesome. Glad to hear it. So, if we're in a standing state, and we want to go to slide, we can't just go from stand to slide. So what we would have to do is, we would have to transition to a state that actually goes to slide. So, for example, state, we see it connects to walk, walk connects to run, and then run connects to run to slide, and then we're finally at our slide animation. And state machines are used pretty much all across the board in almost every 3D game, or even 2D games, you know. So if you've heard the term like invincibility frames and stuff like that, chances are this is like what really drives it, the actual state machine behavior. So we would be in our stand animation, we would have to walk, we would then have to go to a run animation, run to slide, then we go to slide. And with all these different nodes, we have a bunch of different ways of customizing them. So with the what's it called? What's the term I'm looking for here? Damn. So okay, yeah, here we go. So the modifier that Fallout 4 uses for their behavior slash finite state machines is quite literally called a modifier or a generator. Generators aren't exactly the same as modifiers, but they pretty much do the same thing. So they'll either modify the animation in some way or the way that they send information back to the game. So if we wanted to have a custom creature, we would have to have all these animations set up. You know, this would be better if I could show you guys. But I can't show you yet because the goddamn tool's not done. Shit. Either way, you guys kind of get the point, I hope. So we want to go to, I don't know, hang on wall. Stand animation, jump animation, hang on wall. It's that simple. Then if we want to go back, climb wall, stand.
And it basically works the same way in the creatures in the game already. You just won't see this custom tool here for those. So like if you think of any like creature or person in the game, it has a similar system already.
And it's all in the background. You don't even think about it, you don't even see it.
Yep.
And so what the thing I'm working on is sort of to create that more visual view for our animators to have more control and have more power over what they put into the game, rather than relying on guessing how Bethesda's actual behaviors work and working around that. We can have completely custom ones, which is really fucking good, really useful, really useful. Like say if let's take the Wanamingo for example. Somebody bring me up a picture of a Wanamingo, please.
Oh, I gotta find it.
Do it now.
Do it now. I don't know where it's at.
God
oh, wait,
damn
hold
it.
On. I think I do. Hold on. I can find it. I might have a picture saved. I don't know.
Preferably one with like the wacky arms.
The wacky arms.
Actually,
are you talking about our Wanamingo, or are we talking about like
anything that has sort of like I don't know. You're breaking my balls here.
I mean, here. Let's get this. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, if I want to go.
No, that's perfect.
That's perfect? Okay. Okay.
So if we take, I closed that state machine image already. Shit.
I'll send you a few more.
Huh?
I'll send you a few more, just in case they work better.
Oh, those are cool. But we'll take this guy for example.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, he's gross, and he's gonna destroy your face in Cascadia. So let's say we want this guy to walk. Well, of course we want him to walk, duh. But let's say we want him to have a little bit more dynamic animations going on. Like say when he starts walking, his arms sort of flail around a little bit. They don't have like a set pattern. So they're just flailing a little bit, you know. Gives it that little bit of a dynamic feel. It doesn't feel all staticky like those old games you used to play where everything pretty much animated the same way, and it just, you know, this is how you breathe life into characters with finite state machines and behaviors. So we could have something that runs in the background that basically tells the game, hey, run this dynamic animation to make the arms move around until they're needed for a different animation where he actually uses them in an attack or something. So he's walking, his legs would move, his little head body thing would move, arms would flail around until, say, there's an attack where he actually whips you with his arms. Then we would go into an attack state, and that sort of dynamic arm flailing gets shut off. If I had a good example of this in game, I would show it.
So, if I think of like a bloatfly or something like that, you know how their wings flap when they're just doing nothing? It's kind of like that. Like, imagine if a bloatfly's wings just completely stayed still and they didn't move around. It won't make sense.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah. And when they attack, their wings usually like push forward to like balance themselves. So it's sort of like that, but of course, with a Wanamingo as a land creature, so it was sort of, yeah.
Basically, it allows you to have more control over how you animate the character, and it's really useful stuff. And a lot of the mechanics in the game rely on behaviors. So if you, what's a good example? Oh, character creation. If you were to remove the behavior for that, the game basically sends what's called, the game sends an event, which is sent to the subgraph, which is basically the state machine nev behavior. So if you wanted to switch genders in character creation, there's a specific event that gets sent. I don't have the creation kit open to show you guys, but it's basically the same thing as the image I showed earlier. I guess, I don't know. Either way, that's what I'm working on here. The actual tool to create these custom behaviors. So right now, I basically have it so that I've got the actual file loaded into the game. Oh, sorry, not loaded in the game, loaded into memory in the tool. Now, on my part, I've got to figure out what I've got to do with it. So, my plan is for every class you see here, this will be what's called a new object in the tool. And the tool basically, depending on the class, will hold certain variables and whatnot, and what could be like the child node of X, and so on. I don't know. So if we look at the behavior graph itself, which is basically the starting node, because this node here, and I'm an idiot, shit. Stupid push to talk, god damn. So if this is our first actual object, our class here, HK root level container. So what this basically does, when the game loads it, it basically says, hey, this is where you got to go to load this. So variant number 91, we would go to HK object 91, which is HKB behavior graph. And you can see all these sort of different properties and variables and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Or I'm sorry, it's kind of tedious to look at. And that's exactly why a tool should be made for this, and why I'm working on it. Because trying to work with just this text is next to near impossible if you're doing it manually. Like if we wanted to, oh man, I can't even go into this part. But yeah, if we were just working with this text alone, it'd be way too difficult, take way too long, and it's a pain in the ass. So fuck it. What we're gonna do is make a tool that visualize these things as actual clicky click things that you can click on and mess around with. And that's how it goes. I better read the chat. I'm getting so focused on fucking up my speeches here. Let's see. Hey Rayler, how's it going? The king himself is streaming. Yes, I am. I am. Not sure how long though. This is turning into a train wreck real quick. Because I'm forgetting what I'm trying to work on at this point. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna create an object creator. What a pain in the ass. God damn. Okay. Right. Okay. I guess I could sort of explain that. One moment, folks. I'm just gonna fix something with my headset.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, I am back, everyone. Sorry about that. So, what we're probably going to do first is, I was thinking about making this stuff into a whole new different class. And so what a class is if we take this thing, the main window. No, that doesn't really make much sense. Oh, okay, here we go. Clicky click things. Easy to understand. So, menu item close click. So we've got our, no, that's not a class. What am I thinking? That's just a method. Oh, boys. This is what happens when you don't get too much sleep. Or not enough sleep. Or something. Whatever. Here we go. Classes. So this is what actually is, assigned. Yo, I'm not a wordo. Shut up.
You're a weirdo. What?
Literally, that's what it says on the restream. You're a wordo. Not even like weirdo, wordo. God
I mean,
damn
your
it.
name is Dr. Weird, so.
Oh yeah, shit. My bad, guys. Didn't mean to talk shit. So how do I explain classes in a really simple way? Okay, I got an idea. So take your hand. Imagine you have no fingers. Shut up. Stop laughing.
It works. It works.
Stop.
It does. It works.
I'm trying my best. Stop laughing. God. So imagine you. Okay, now I'm laughing. This is so dumb. What am I doing? Okay. Take your hand. Cut all your fingers off. Not literally. Twitch, don't ban me. You guys are fucked lately. Take your fingers. Imagine they're not there. What's the what face for? Whatever. You got no fingers. You're fucked. So we create a new class, which is your hand, right? So now we can define what fingers are what. No, this didn't make any more sense.
You make a new finger. You have to make a new finger.
Yeah, and you can make it in a specific way that you want. So with this class here, the HK class, basically I've made it so that... Oh, Flanarn is here. Save me.
Hello.
Please.
Wait,
I'm
is it
fucked.
going that bad?
It's going pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It's going fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, you might not have fingers, but you make a new
You can
class.
make new ones, yeah.
You can assign your fingers, and you can assign it a specific type. Like maybe you want like an Asian finger. Boom, there you go. No, this
This is
whole
weird
analogy
conversation.
didn't make any fucking sense because you
I
got
mean,
it.
it did it first. I thought it did.
I should have done the Lego one. I don't know why I didn't think about the Lego analogy. That sucked. I'll do this over later. I'm working.
So exactly, what are you trying to explain, Leon?
Fuck you.
Okay.
I hate you. I'm
Okay.
trying my best.
Can I ask what are you working on then? Right now.
So right now we're working on the behavior tool.
Okay. Anything specific with it, or just the general backend systems?
Everything.
Everything. All right.
Everything. So what this part is, when we actually load the text file. Well, thanks for loving me. I appreciate it. I really do. Because I get Flanarn here up my ass
What?
about what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to do what I
asked.
do.
God.
Thank you. Where was I again? Shit.
I'm sorry.
I am too. I'm so sorry for streaming. Oh, I'm sorry, White Fox.
I think what's happening is we're trying to explain it too much, and we're not like doing it. If that makes sense. Trying to explain it's kind of hard to explain this perfectly.
It's hard for me to explain because I've been up for like 27 hours now, trying to just do a bunch of other backend stuff. I have no idea what I'm even talking about.
Let's do something fun. Try not to
Okay,
explain it too
let's
hard.
do something fun.
Something fun.
Today we're going to a strip club with Leon.
Wait, we are?
No.
Oh shit, I'm closing this project. Oh, you lied?
No, I got your hopes up with a false sentiment. I wouldn't call it a lie.
You see the bullying that goes on? Yeah, I could sleep, but I could get work done too. Which one should I do? I'm gonna get work done. So yeah, what we have here is a public abstract class called HK class. So the text file that we read here, which gets loaded into the tool, we basically need to take that garbled up. Did I remove my fuck? God damn it. Okay, hold on. Start the debug thing again because it's easier to explain. Blah 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 blah. Skeleton. We'll go test one. Awesome. So we got this complicated mess here, and this is what we loaded from the actual XML file. This is pretty unbearable to read, and this is only a watch view, so this isn't even like what it actually looks like. It only yeah, whatever. I think, I don't know. Help me. Basically, it looks like a jumbled up mess. We want it to not look like a jumbled up mess. So we would have to take every HK object that we read. So where's my notepad? So let's minimize all these nodes again. So we've got like nodes like HK root level container, behavior graph, state machine, blah 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 blah. And then it goes from 90 to 164. That's a lot of nodes. So if you wanted to do this in text like this, you're gonna have a really, really shitty time. And also, if we wanted to manipulate how, or sorry, if we wanted to take the data directly from the object that gets loaded, it's kind of difficult because we would have to write something really clunky like this code here. Like first one, which is AK pack file. So that's like the base class. And then we would have to go and find we would have to go into the HK section. So if we open the text pad up again, so we're in the section now, then we would have to find the actual object we would want to manipulate. So in this case, I have a function in my HK section called getObjectByString. So I can search HK behavior graph string data, and then get parameter by string, event names, and then it will basically loop through. Wait, what? Oh no, never mind. This is a new implementation I did. So yeah, it will. Actually, I'm better off showing this method. Hold on. Go to definition, get object by string. So this is in our HK section class. So this is our HK section. So what does this do? You know, Jay Richter, I would prefer level design at this point, but a man's gotta eat. I don't get paid. Shit. Help. But yeah, so we call it get object by string, and what that does is if search string is null, so if we, can I just type here? Okay, good. So if, for example, let's just say it's just some generic HK section. HK section dot get object by string. So if we just put it in like this, either the compiler will shit out an error, or it will basically say, hey, this isn't what I was looking for. I wanted a string that was not null or equal to nothing, like absolutely nothing. So then in that case, it would just return absolutely nothing. But if we change it so that it has text here, so we'll add quotation marks, that's to say, hey, this is a string. Text, basically. So let's say we want to look for an object called, I don't know, let's just pick a random one. Clip generator. That's a good one. HKB clip generator. So it would not be null, and then it would have to take a look at the object count. So if we look here, because this file doesn't exactly tell us how many there is right in the HK section, how many objects it has. So let's look at HK sec. That's not what I wanted to click, really. Okay, here we go. Gotta minimize the one say open. Wait, what? What's going on here? Oh, fuck, I'm blind. Okay, so we have a count of 75 HK objects. So because we have 75, that's not equal to 0. So then we go to the next line here. So basically we say, hey, we just want this temporary variable and we want it to start at 0. And then if that variable is less than or equal to 75, which is the count, -1 because don't worry about that. Then what we want to do is every time we go through this loop, we want to increase I +1. So what it would do is if hkObjectI.class equals search string, it will return the object, basically. This isn't this isn't basic at all. Why aren't you guys helping? Help. Help.
The issue with this is that we don't know what we're doing it with this either. So
Me neither.
this is your profession, Leon.
I'm bad at explaining this shit.
You don't need to explain it.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna drag Railer in here.
Oh god. Might as
Hey,
well.
buddy, how's it going?
Ends up not even being here.
You needed the distraction,
there we go.
didn't you?
There we go.
Maybe. I just need some help.
Well, you brought in the wrong person then.
Possibly, but you know what? I don't know what. So there you go.
This is why maybe you should get some sleep, and then maybe it will come to you.
Maybe, but we're not talking about that this stream. We're talking about code and me horrifically explaining it. But yeah, what I was talking about before. So this method / function will basically loop through every single HK object in HK section. So HK sections here, and then inside of HK section are all of these HK objects. What do you mean not enough comments? Oh yeah, you're kind of right. Maybe that's a good idea actually. I should comment the shit out of it. So if I decide to stream, it's like there's like little comments you could read, and it's like, why the fuck did I do it this way? Actually, I probably
little
have
messages like, "Please God, end this suffering."
Yeah, you don't want to look at my Papyrus code. That's pretty much all it is.
What? There's messages begging for the sweet release of death.
Yes. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I'm just trying to build a coffee shop.
Me too. Coffee shop built out of HK objects. And those HK objects are built out of HK params. And God, I hate this shit. I hate Havoc so much at this point.
I don't know what you're talking about. These things, they're beyond me.
Oh, Havoc is
Oh no, I know what Havoc is. It's just, you know.
oh, the
HK
actual code and stuff, yeah.
Coding is
Physics.
beyond me.
Physics. It's how the world works.
I know the world runs on physics, but apparently America runs on Dunkin' Donuts, so apparently
Oh.
it doesn't need physics.
You know, funny thing, I had my first Dunkin' Donut yesterday.
How did it compare to Tim Hortons?
It's pretty good, really good actually. It was like this I don't know, like regular donut with like chocolate on the top, and then on the inside it's like I don't know.
Boston cream. Or
No,
what?
it wasn't Boston cream, but it was a cream. It was so good. Holy crap.
Leon, congratulations, you've lost your Canadian citizenship.
I know.
You just committed high treason.
I know. And you know what? I don't mind. I'm okay with it. The world is okay. Another day goes on, and I'm still looking at this screen. Why can't I just... Okay, I'm mapping what I want to do in my head. So, what I could do is I could create sort of like a loading class, so that way I don't have like a bunch of a huge mess all the way through this main window class or namespace, whatever. Which isn't too bad of an idea. Not bad at all. So what have you guys been doing? What's up with you guys?
Well, I've been
I'm not sure.
implementing assets.
I'm not sure. Am I allowed to mention the name of the place I'm working on?
That depends.
Tastes fine.
Working on Pike Place in downtown, so.
Oh, and he's doing a real good job. Holy shit. Every time I look, it's just like Wow.
You can actually see a lot of his work on our trailer too.
It's what, like, it's what, 50% of the trailer is stuff I've done or at least, you know, been involved in working on. It's basically, basically that trailer is Fallout Railer.
Not really.
Want to see downtown, so we show downtown.
Hmm.
It's one of those, like, can we see something?
We showed
CF or
parts.
downtown, like,
We showed stuff, not enough, just a taste, not even a very good taste of it.
I just get people to shut up about the whole downtown, please.
And then please you show them just the one part that I've gotten in some presentable state.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a new class. So this will basically eventually be so that anytime I want to load a new file or save a new file, I just have to add this class to what I'm using. So if you look up here, so at the end, oh, I don't know why I'm holding that button down. I forgot to push to talk off. Shit. That's interesting to me. But yeah. So if we got this one called shitty temp.io, what we would do here is if we wanted to have well, I don't think anyone had any hope for Starfield because it was a fucking scam in the first place. Like, let's get real. Starfield was a scam all the way through. So yeah, we'll put all the data loading, saving stuff in here. And so when we want to actually use it, we would have to define what it is we want. So shitty temp.io, it's in the folder ops, so we would go hk universe dot what? Is that in a different namespace? Shit. Yes, it is. Damn it.
Question is, what is Starfield? Never heard of it.
So Starfield, let me explain Starfield. Starfield's a scam where it's a hoax. Somebody was trying to get attention. I don't know why. But they were basically saying that it was a the Elder Skyrim and Fallout Boy crossover. In
What?
space.
Oh, it's a Bethesda game set in space.
And it's a
Alright.
crossover of Elder Skyrim and Fallout.
I don't know about that.
No, that's literally what the leaked document said.
Oh, I never read it, so I won't know.
I think I'm sure YouTube chat and Twitch chat could alleviate this thing for me. Am I right or am I wrong? I swear that was a thing. It was supposed to be like this weird crossover of Skyrim, Elder Skyrim, and Fallout. Swear that's what it was supposed to be. Really? Now I have to Google it. Starfield. Or it was supposed to be in like the same universe or something really weird.
I don't know. I don't follow E3 or anything like that, or leaks. The last time there was a leak or suggestion that a game was coming out was that map of Red Dead Redemption, which turned out to be real.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of how many people, there were people making videos about how it's probably fake, but they said that the guy who's posting that has been pretty reliable.
Yeah, Leon, is this hacking in Fallout Cascadia? Is this what it's gonna look like?
Wait, what?
Hacking in Fallout Cascadia. A comment.
Yeah,
It's also gonna have Leon's voice the whole time, just going help and end me, please.
Fucking
It
help.
was I'm pretty sure it's a joke. It's like, is this what it's going to look like? What you're doing right now?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh,
Should
yeah.
Leon be in there as a robot that just wants the sweet release of death?
I'll be barista. Assume the position. Here is your coffee, nice and hot.
Assume the coffee serving position. That would be a scary robot.
Well, I wouldn't mind if Bethesda did like a spacey outer space, like RPG in the same vein as like Fallout and Elder Skyrim. I wouldn't mind that.
Elder Skyrim.
You guys just
Elder
caught on to that just now? Oh my god.
I was wondering if it was just one because you were super tired. I was wondering if it was because you're exhausted or you are making some kind of joke.
Yes. Yeah, so the Elder Oblivion. Pretty good. But yeah, I think a game like Fallout and Elder Skyrim would be cool set out in space. I think that has merit. I mean, looking at like Prey. Ooh boy.
Ooh, nurse.
I love
There
Prey.
there's literally no way to know if Fallout and Elder Scrolls are the same universe. Really, there's nothing said.
Except for that one mod, which was just a joke by Valve. The whole Space Core. Well, I mean, the Space Core, they put the Space Core in from Portal, and it lands on Nern.
Yeah, that kind of stuff isn't canon or lore friendly or anything like
And
that.
it's not lore friendly, but it's funny. Because the Space Core talked the entire
I mean,
time.
it very well could be. Like, you could have Nern be like this planet out on the other side of the universe, and you could have one planet, Earth. Like, it could exist, but like, there's nothing said. There's no way to tell.
God, that trailer that we made. Damn it, that was beautiful.
It's kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy situation where you have this normal Earth, or like the whole Marvel universe.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, because Guardians
Cinematic
of the
Universe.
Galaxy, from what I know, actually is Peter Quill
So-
isn't from current day Earth. He's from the future Earth.
What I was going to say is that you could have a normal planet with like no magic, no crazy stuff like Earth, and then way out on the other side in some other solar system you could have Nern, which is like a magical planet. Like, that could very well be the reality, but there's nothing
Because
that
the laws
says
of physics are
yeah.
different.
there's nothing that says it's a thing. So just assume you don't know.
Assume you know nothing.
Yes.
And so what I'm doing here is I'm basically doing what I explained before, where I'm adding all the classes I want to use. So now, what is HK Universe, Havoc Nodes, and I have two of them. That's a doozy. Why? That's a little weird. Okay, and now our debug dialog. We could sort of cut this out, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Event var list. What? I should be using the HK Universe, Havoc Nodes, Destruct. What? What's going on here? Is it XML that I need? Pretty weird. Try that one? No. What? What's going on here? There we go. Oh, you see, it's the tiniest things that trip you up. Lowercase s. If I turn that back into a big boy, look at this. I get a bunch of errors spit at me. I don't want to deal with that, so we're going to put that back to a little s. And I believe that's because in this one, yep, it's called data struct with a lower s. That's stupid of me. Jeez. Oh, but I don't want to have to fix the main file for now, so we'll just switch it back. I'll fix that later. So, right in here to do. Save that, and then we'll go back to shitty file IO. We'll comment out the debug dialog lines. And there we go. So now, rather than having all this mess in our actual main code here, now it looks a lot cleaner. Ignore that comment. So rather than having all that code in this void method, now what we can do is we can simply just go. God damn it! What is it called again? Wrong file. Class shitty temp.io. Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Oops. Close that. Go back to code view. So let's go shittytemp.io. Shitty. We'll just name it shitty. Equal new shitty temp.io. And then we'll go what's it called? Shitty dot open file. Then we could just do it this way. So what did we do in our main file? We reduced it to 2 lines from this big ass mess. So it's kind of like spring cleaning, you know, like we're making it a little bit clean, making it look a little nice, making it look pretty good. So now if we go and hit our menu item again, it should do the same exact thing. So we'll go to Tools, Skeleton, open test 1. I probably should have my debugger attached. So we'll go back and attach my debugger. Put it right here. Then we'll add it as a watch. Oh, I guess I can't do it without debugging. Whatever. Fine. Awesome. So let's take a look at our O object. Bam. So we've got all of our stuff here still from the little test file.
That is, I guess, a good thing, right?
Yep, it's a good thing. Basically, I've done absolutely fuck all. All I've done is change where this code that actually loads the file is, and cleaned up how it looks in the main window. So, like I said before, rather than having the code that's in shitty temp.io, the code that used to be here is now in shitty temp.io, and now we can simply use that method slash function straight from this window by just creating a new object, which is shitty, and it's shitty temp.io, which is this class. So you can see here, class shitty temp.io. So we create a new object, and then we call the open file method, which is what it's called here, public void open file. Actually, that should probably return a HKPack file. Shit. Okay, we don't want it to return nothing, so return HKPack file. Not all code paths return whatever, so we will return, oh, unreachable code detected, what? Oh. Put it here. Cannot convert type, what? Oh, first one, that's right, it has a different name because I've already cast it there. So what casting is, nope, I'm not getting into that. So here we'll return null. So what we can do with that now is, oops. Now we've got a couple cool things we can kind of do. So now we can create a new HK pack file object. So HK pack file, let's name it McDonald's. Why? Who knows? Equal new HK pack file.
Mixed pack file.
You can mix pack file.
And then we can just simply say McDonald's equals shitty.openFile. And the reason we can say that is OpenFile returns an HKPack file, which is the same object as McDonald's. Or sorry, class type. Class. So we could start it again. I probably should have hit debug there. Oops. Let's make sure this gets debugged. So go tool, skeleton. I've hit our debugger. Does McDonald's have anything? Nope, nothing yet. So we'll step into a couple times. And we will go to test one. Okay, and where's McDonald's? Where's he at? Oh no, am I looping through the whole thing? Yes, I am. Okay, screw that. We're not doing that. That was dumb of me. I don't know what I was expecting there. But either way, McDonald's is now the file that we opened with that method. Not particularly interesting, I know. That's okay. And so what I was originally going to work on is creating classes for this big main class. So our HK class, our abstract one. So this would be extended by all these HK root level container, clip generator, variable binding set, state machine transition info array. All these no, what are you doing? Stop. Okay, thank you, TextPad. So all those objects would need to be basically converted into something like this. And with each case, we have like a default properties that would need to be set. Like the class type would need to be, well, actually, I could do something simpler. We probably don't need this, and I could just make it a part of class type here, and I could just simply go like name of the class. I could do that. I'm not going to right now, but I'm actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm gonna comment that. So yeah, in the end, we want to create a new class that extends our basic one, which is that HK class. So in the end, it'll probably look like, I don't know, like 70, 80, fucking 90 million different classes that extend HK class. So that whenever we load the file, we would iterate through the whole thing and create a specific object depending on what class it is in the XML. So HKB behavior graph, we would want a HKB behavior graph. And the reason we want to do this is when we actually put it into a UI setting, we can't have it sit as just XML, because for one thing, it's fucking annoying to deal with this schema, and it's a little bit easier for us to do a lot more dynamic on the fly sort of stuff. So one thing I've got to do is I've got to create basically a class. I got to generate the classes. So the idea I had was, rather than doing it all manually, I would have something that opens a file like this. If it sees a class that isn't defined here, then basically what it would do is it would take all these lines, it would take these lines, actually let me highlight this. So take everything here, create a new file, and then reading the actual class from XML, so HK behavior graph, then that would become, well, can I actually do that? Shit. So you see here, it becomes a new thing, majig, I don't know. And then for class type, actually we would just set it so that it's the name of the actual class. Not a big deal. And then public override string signature, this is where we need a sort of a default property, because each signature is different for each HK object. As you can, well, it's different for each actual object, not like, each object type, not each object. So we see state machine, this will always be the same if it's a state machine class. So the signature stays the same and the class stays the same. So HKB state machine, signature 0xa5896BCF, same thing here. And there you go. And so we would basically be taking, well, we would have been taking the actual class name and the signature, but I think I'm going to get sneaky soon and then just, get the name of the class rather than having to assign that every time, because that's boring. I mean, since it's going to be auto-generated for me anyway, it kind of doesn't matter, but yeah. So anybody got any questions? Hello?
I don't have any questions.
What about
Yeah,
you, Saber?
Because I understand nothing.
I'm not doing a very good job teaching you then.
Didn't know I was supposed to be taught stuff.
So Visual Studio is an IDE, so why am I... Okay. So all your code...
It's an
That's
IED.
Vigi, just so you know.
That's a
I
big
said IDE. Who are you? Who are you to talk shit? Why you gotta talk shit all the time?
One is Vigi.
Oh, Viggy.
Yeah.
What about Viggy?
That's the guy. That's the person asking you right now.
What's he saying?
What's
What's
Visual
Visual
Studio?
Jesus Christ. That's Viggy?
That's
Vigi.
Vicky. Yeah, that's Vicky.
He's trolling me. My own stream. God damn it. Okay, well, to answer that question for people who aren't trolling me, Visual Studio... Fuck you, Viggy. Visual Studio is basically where you go and take all your code, and this is where it actually turns it into a program that gets used. Like all this magic humbo mumbo jumbo shit that looks like it doesn't make any sense. Well, this application, the IDE or whatever you want to call it, basically takes all this and compiles it into an executable. So like you know, you open Firefox, that's an executable. Like
Fallout 4 is an executable.
yeah, Fallout 4 is an executable. And so all that stuff, all that shitty code I wrote, translates to this. So you can think of it as a translator of my code into this window. And I'm doing the finger gesturing in real life because I completely forget I don't have a webcam, and it's really ticking me off at this point. I don't know why I keep doing it. It's so weird. So bizarre.
I talk to people online and I do hand gestures.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I subconsciously do it for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so any more questions? Like, what don't you understand that's going on? Nothing?
I don't have anything.
What about you, Flynn?
No, I'm trying to follow along with what you're doing here.
Okay, Saber, what
I
about
get it
you? You've got a question.
I have a question, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Eh. So what is the current ability of the tool?
It loads files.
Okay.
Any Fallout 4 that's converted to a tag file, which is this XML here. So let's let's take a fresh one. Oops, that was nearly. Oh no.
And
No,
what
no.
is what's left to do on the tool yet?
So what's left on the tool is basically taking the loaded data that's in the file, converting it into something that becomes easier to manage for the UI side of things. So it's not only easier for UI, it's easier for me to actually do cool custom stuff. And this might be a question somebody might be asking. Why the fuck are you making custom classes for every object? And the question and the answer to that is, if you want to create a brand new behavior, you kind of need to have some predefined, you know, you got to have some predefined
Stuff?
yeah, predefined properties and whatnot. So that way it's not like you have to type in every single class every time you want to make a new node.
And to answer that question, it is a tool kind of for creating custom animations, not for creating the animations themselves, but it's for creating sets of them and how they interact with each other and how they transition from one pose and animation to another. So that's sort of a generalization of what this exactly is. what a behavior is per se.
Yeah, so the behavior, it controls what animations you go into and how the game logic interacts with that. Yeah, so the tool itself doesn't create the animations, it creates what drives the animations. What the character you put in does. To put it
Yep.
simply. Which is not simple at all. I know. I'm not doing a very good job at the analogies. I used to write in QBasic in 1998.
What?
What the fuck are you? Why?
What is that?
Trying to see if I can find a good example.
It's like the web of animations and how they're played is controlled by the behavior. So like when you are standing, if you want to run, you can't just, run. There has to be a set played. So it's like a controller. It's like an animation controller.
Fucking Q. So funny.
QBasic.
Oh my god. QBasic. Holy shit, that is ancient. Ancient. It's okay, there was no, I can't remember. I forgot what I was gonna say. So how many people are working on the whole mod? I think we've got like
Over 100.
Over 100, yeah. That are currently somewhat active on our team. Oh yeah,
QBasic was the bomb for home user MS-DOS DIY coding. Huh.
it's ancient. I'll give you that. Although then again, I bet you some like guru's like looking at me right now, and he's just like, what is this fucking scrub doing? Like, why are you using like a? Am I using an abstract or an interface? I'm using an abstract. Like, well, what's this fucking scrub doing? Why are you using an abstract? I could have
QBasic taught you the true meaning of coding and the principles of life.
Well, I mean, I can't say I had it much easier. I started with like assembly or like there was another auto assembly, you know? I'm pretty sure.
What language is fought for written in? That would be Papyrus and other things, among other things.
The
but
scripting system is Papyrus.
Yep, it's it's Bethesda's own syntax of what, C++ or something.
No, the scripting system. So like all the modding stuff, that's Papyrus. That's similar to C# in a lot of ways.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But chances are it's just written in C++, honestly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, with me, C# and Java, they're actually relatively simple. But I swear to God, if I have to look at anyone's Java code, I want to rip my fucking head off. Like,
Oh yeah.
I have no idea why. This shit is unbearable to read for me. I have no idea why.
C# is much nicer.
Well, I mean, it's just my preference, really.
Yeah. Now there are a lot of people out there that I know like Java over them, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends what you do. Depends what you do.
Oh, is there a good place to read about the animation thing / spec? Not really. That's what I'm trying to do here, to make it simple for anyone who doesn't have the actual background.
See, this is like new ground here.
Kind of, yeah.
in a way.
In a way, yeah. I'm pretty sure there might be a tool similar for Skyrim floating around, but my hope is that I can support both games, both Skyrim and Fallout 4. It's a pipe dream, but I mean, I'm trying to make
Fallout
it,
first.
yeah, trying to make it so that it can be modular if I did want to go back and let you, or if I wanted to go back and add Skyrim support.
But like for Skyrim, this is already something that people can do. Like custom creatures is a thing already in Skyrim in a quite great extent in comparison to Fallout 4, where there's like none.
Yeah, they don't exist.
So the priority is set on Fallout 4 right now.
And the ones that do are probably using existing behaviors like reskinning dog meat or whatever, so they're wonky. So yeah, I don't think I've seen any reskins with dog meat though either. So
There was those night terror things from New Vegas.
no,
They looked like slimy little things. I don't remember.
oh the Night Stalkers.
Oh yes, that's it.
I can't
Yeah, so
remember
It's
the
all
method.
possible for any new Bethesda games.
Yeah, but you basically have to build it around an existing skeleton and hope that it works. Right now.
Yeah.
And as far as any new Bethesda games with implication new there, what we do know from a few interviews with Todd is they're looking into basically reworking the entire animation system. Because like they know it's not that great. They know it's a bit wonky.
Well, the fact is, if I were at Bethesda, I would love working with Havoc. Like, with the way they've upgraded Fallout 4's engine compared to Skyrim, working with Havoc is a fucking godsend. Like, Havoc's tools are really nice to work with if, and only if, you actually have access to their goddamn tools. Which we do not. So we gotta do a lot of the stuff from scratch. Just trying to think, do I want to deal with this stuff right now? Because, I mean, let's see, what's something common between all the HK classes? They've got a class type, a signature, a node name, a child node, or child nodes. I guess a parent node. I guess that would be something kind of useful to have, wouldn't it?
How far along is the mod now?
Pretty far along. Pretty along.
We don't like to give any release dates or anything, but I can say that we are getting there. It's
Stuff is happening.
we're definitely not behind on terms of schedule. So
No, definitely we are not. We're good on schedule.
You have a schedule?
We do.
I didn't even realize that. I thought it was more of a, it will be out when we're done.
Well, there
yeah,
you go.
I mean, so it depends what you're trying to do when you're modding. You do get the CK, which they give you. You do get a few other tools like Elric and stuff like that. That makes a lot of it easy, but stuff like this, like some very niche things like custom creatures and all that, yeah, you don't get any tools from Bethesda for that kind of stuff. And that's largely to do because Havoc is
It's not a
included
Bethesda
in this.
tool per se.
Yeah, it's a Havoc tool, and they can't just distribute Havoc code.
Like, most
Yeah.
things they've done in the house, we've gotten access to really. Like Elric, we have the custom scripts for 3ds Max,
Mhm.
CK. But like they license Papyrus for a few $100,000 dollars. Like it's they're not gonna have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they can't give anything that's like licensed out. But no, they give a lot out actually. With the CK and stuff, you get a lot of tools that are very helpful.
And I mean, even with the jump from Skyrim to Fallout 4, just getting Elric and the custom 3ds Max scripts has helped a lot. Because in Skyrim, there's still no right way to do collision because they don't have the proper systems, really. Like, they don't know what's the
Yeah.
right way to do it.
So yeah, you actually get the tool for generating collision with Fallout 4 called Elric, and for texture conversion and all kinds of stuff. It's very nice. And they even their official NIF exporter and stuff, you get all that.
Will Fallout Cascadia introduce new enemy mechanics or behaviors compared to Fallout 4? Have we
That
talked about the
is-
floater?
I'd hope that we would.
We released concept art for it. Yeah, we did. We released one concept art, the Drake one. Yeah.
I mean, it. Sorry, my voice. No. Like, it depends on what you mean with that as well. Like, are we talking new behaviors to, like, how the raiders will behave and such? Because, like, there's not super much you can do. You can do tweaks and improvements to make it more, like, fast-paced and such.
I think
How
he's
about
talking
fixing
about
the rat
like
chickens?
I think
But
he's
if we're
talking
talking
about
new creatures and such, yeah.
I think he's talking about like new you know how the mosquito like digs its thing into you and the death claw like grabs you and picks you up and like stuff like that. Probably.
It's just one of those questions that can be kind of odd.
Yeah, I think it depends on if we can find some fun things to do with it. Like, with the floater, you can basically consider him like a floating landmine. I believe that's the sort of the concept with him.
Yeah, that's kind of a
they
new
spin
mechanic.
and they explode and they're a gas bubble floating around basically.
Yeah.
They obviously smell awful then when they explode.
It's they propel themselves with their own internal gases. So that's how they float.
But yeah, really, okay, new combat mechanics. Yeah, that's one of those, like, if we can figure out something that works, yes. But I mean, Fallout 4 actually has a really broad variation of, like, what the NPCs will do in combat. But it's more of the, like, how it's tuned that we would change, really. Like, what's that? Frost overhauls combat a lot, it feels like, because it's actually hard and, like, you can get fucked up fast. But as far as new mechanics, there's none. There's barely any in any of them, really. It's more tweaks to player and whatnot. You just tweak values.
Do the NCR have custom underwear?
I don't think so, no.
What?
Well,
What do you mean
why?
custom underwear?
But why?
What's the point of custom underwear?
You got me beat there. I have no idea. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. I didn't even think about this. Shit. Start ID selector, blah blah blah.
Oh God, I do not know what's wrong with my. It's either my mouse or the CK is glitching on me.
Chances are it's both. But
I
which
know,
came
it's
first, the CK glitching out or your mouse? You'll never know.
I don't know if it's the mouse or the CK because it's like instances of like double clicking. Where I'll click on something like duplicate and suddenly I'm in the edit menu
Ooh,
and it's also duplicated.
I had that issue with my mouse until I got a new one.
Yeah, I bought this. I bought this at Walmart because I didn't want to spend the money on something, and I just bought the same mouse that I had before.
Huh. So here's a good question. Quick question. Which Fallout game do you take the most inspiration from? Now, hold on. Let me just get my opinion out there. None of the Fallout games are the best. Out of all, like, none of them compare. And,
Yeah.
well, sorry, what I mean to say is, my opinion is, I don't think one game truly trumps all the rest. I think what we're looking at is what makes each game unique, what makes each game fun, and how do we combine all that together into a beautiful mess.
Yeah. We're taking the strengths from all of all of them. So we're trying to find the best parts of each game and utilize them and implement them into our game.
Obviously, the best part of Fallout 2 was the excessive amount of references.
And we actually have it easier because the strength of Fallout 4 is the combat and the gameplay. Whereas, that's something you can't really implement into something like the Gamebryo engine. You can't really change the combat to be like Fallout 4. That's a major rework. Whereas the strengths of New Vegas could probably be considered like narrative and story and stuff like that, and we can do that a lot easier than
role-playing options.
Yeah, stuff like that. So that's what we've been working on. So you see all the perks and the skill systems and the overhaul dialogue. Those are things that we're taking from older games because they were the strengths. Yep.
Yeah, like if you want a good example of this, Fallout 4's combat, really good, blows everything out of the water. Now we talk about the story. Not so much. We look at Fallout 3. Amazing atmosphere. And I think we can all know what we are. Sorry. I think we all know what we have to say about the story. It's not the greatest. Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 have weak actual gameplay when it comes to shooting and melee. Not to say that it isn't fun or anything like that, but it compared to Fallout 4, it's a shit show. Let's be honest. Even compared to other games that were released at the time, shit.
Fallout 4 had a tendency of having too much reliance on combat, and everything else kind of fell to the wayside a bit.
But the combat was good though, so they just need to have
more options than go in here and shoot everything.
Yeah.
You went in the combat zone. There was East City Downs. Like, you had these wasted areas that just all it ended up doing is you'd go there and you had to kill everyone.
Will you make the AI less stupid? Like when you kill a raider, and his pal after 5 seconds goes like, "It was my imagination."
Well, some of the raiders probably just fucked on jet and other drugs. They probably don't even know what's real at this point. Which would probably be
it's kind of hard to revamp an AI system.
Like
that alone
must have been my imagination stuff.
We'll try to. We're gonna try to make it as good as possible, but there's only so much you can do with that. Oh, what is this guy saying? I have to translate this.
You mean like translate it from one language to another, or translate incomprehensible writing?
Talking about Dead Space.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
Exponential difficulty? You did that in Kingdom Hearts. You mean like an actual combat zone that you could actually fight in? That would have been fun. Like the combat zone could have actually been something interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Russian translates to English very well.
Probably not.
Because I can't even understand it in English when I translate it.
I think it might have to do with the fact Google Translate is not a good translator.
Of course, yeah. Other languages tend to be readable though, in Google Translate.
It's all about syntax and I think resources. How many sources the Google can draw on. don't actually have any concept art for Pike Place, do we? I find that for the most part, I just have to wing this thing. Like I'm winging it as I go along, like looking at Pike Place and then looking at how can I, you know, like look at the real market and then try and follow-defy it, and then post-apocalyptic-defy it.
I've been muted the whole time. Jesus Christ.
Who's been muted the whole time?
I was.
No, you weren't.
Not
Well,
to
not
you
for you
guys,
either.
for the stream.
Oh.
Maybe I should,
Stream. Oh.
maybe I should, give up for now. God damn it, that was so tilting. Holy shit. that if anything pissed me off beforehand, it hasn't pissed me off like right now. It has. Fuck you, Viggy. It hasn't been 40 minutes. Jesus Christ.
On a cracker?
Yes. Well, what do you mean you could hear me breathing? My mic was muted. How could you hear me breathing if it was muted? That was probably Rayla or Saber.
What?
Or Flan or Jonesy. I don't fucking know. Jonesy? Yeah. Oh, they're muted. They've deafened themselves. Jeez. But to answer who asked. Thomas Anderson 2's question. Is the tool you are creating tied to Creation Kit's AI packages / actions, etc.? E.g., the problem you are trying to solve is the creating brand new packages and animations. Kind of. We can create new packages and animations. No problem. No problem at all. Just with the tools that Bethesda's given us. What we can't create without an external tool like mine is the behaviors that drive the animations. So if you weren't here for my explanation of finite state machines earlier, / behaviors, if you say have 3 different states, you have a walking state and you have an attacking state, and your last state is a jumping state. So if we only want to play animations between a walking state and an attacking state, we would basically have a transition between both the walking state and the combat state, or attacking state, whatever. So if we wanted to make it so that jumping only works if you're in the walking state and you're standing still, we would basically go into the walking state machine, or walking / idle, and have a transition set up between that and the jumping state. So if we were in our combat one, we wouldn't be able to jump because there's no transition there. Unless we have what's called a wildcard transition, which basically means if this event is received, it doesn't matter where the fuck we are going to that event, or sorry, that state. But those are mostly used to initialize the behavior graph in what is called, do I have it in this one? I think I do. BS, let's see, behavior graph, root generator 92. I think this one has it. Maybe I'm wrong. 93. What's 93? State machine info, death SM. Nope, that's probably not it. I actually don't think it's in this file for some reason. I'll triple check though. Oh no, this isn't a root. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm just, oh, here's one right here we could look at. Critter root behavior. So we'll minimize all these. And then, here we go. BS behavior graph swap generator. So if we wanted to create a new behavior graph, we need, Jesus Christ. We need this specific generator attached to a, I believe it's a state machine or state machine info. Yeah, no, it's the actual state itself. So this would be the root behavior. So this doesn't really have much information other than, hey, this is, like, Bethesda made it so that they can split their behaviors into chunks, which makes it easier to manage all the different events and whatnot. So typically you'll have like a root behavior, such as this in this case, which looks pretty tiny compared to something like this. Big difference. So what this sort of file would be, it would be an addition to the root file. And this generator here, BS behavior graph swap generator, that basically tells the game like, okay, we can accept another chunk of the behavior on top of this one. Kind of confusing. I actually forgot what my original point was with this. Was anyone else paid attention? Ugh. I didn't think so. Fuck. So. Oh, you were. Okay, guys, it's time to I think it's time for me to end this train wreck. What do you guys think? Well, I don't know why I'm asking. I'm tired. I tried my best. This ended up exactly like the Wanamingo stream. I apologize. I'm not sure if anyone will be streaming tonight, but maybe, maybe not. Kind of doubtful. I don't think Jake's gonna stream tonight. But yeah. Well, I got a new mention, voice text. No, keep going, Dr. Weird. What the fuck? Why couldn't you say that? Why'd you have to write it in text? What are you
Here's
doing?
your fan. It's the fan you needed.
I'm at the smoke pit. What?
What?
What the fuck is that? What are you doing, Jonesy? Okay, Jonesy. Jonesy's a little shy. He gets nervous on stream, so that's why he's sort of talking in text right now. He said he appreciated me telling you guys. He gets really shy in front of, you know, a bunch of people. It's understandable. It's normal. It's really normal. Yeah, sorry for the very scuffed stream tonight or today. I'm, as you can tell, extremely tired.
It's good.
But I hope it was somewhat educational. I probably repeated things like 30 times trying to explain myself. But next time I hop on one of these streams, if I'm allowed, chances are I won't. I'll make sure that we got some actual content rather than me rambling over and over. And yeah. So anyways, guys, and girls, maybe, I don't know. Whenever and wherever you are, have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Follow Cascadia is signing off. Hey fuckers, say goodbye.
Good night.
Later,
Or
everyone.
Good later.
Good later.
We'll see you in Seattle.
Yes, definitely. And you'll probably see me on a stream. Sometime soon, maybe. I think I'm getting banned.
Getting banned.
Oh, I just got a message from Flinarn. Hold on. You fucking idiot. Don't stream on this channel again, you piece of shit.
Leon, I'm here to tell you you're off.
Fuck. Okay, enough jokes. I'll catch you guys and girls. Guys and one girl, maybe. Maybe 2, 3. I don't know.
Your
Fuck it.
ghouls and gals.
Ghouls and gals. Wait.